Guys, welcome to another episode of Good Critic, Bad Critic. I'm Kyle. Today, I'll be playing the role of the good critic. And my biggest hater sitting across from me is Andrew David Watros, the bad critic. Thanks for tuning in. If you're not, follow us on Instagram. Good Critic, Bad Critic.
Content galore.
There's galore.
We're also on TikTok if you're interested in that.
Do that.
We don't really say that often.
Yeah, go on the TikTok. I know you're on there. We're all on there.
It is absorbing this society of ours.
Yeah. Are you the Joker? Hey. Maybe. Save till the end for the reveal. Also, go follow us on YouTube. Subscribe, I should say.
We just hit another double digit.
Hey, keep them coming. We're climbing. Also, leave a review, please.
5 stars.
It really helps us out.
And if it's not 5 stars,
keep it to yourself.
I would rather you not leave it, but it's a free country.
But that's your truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
But you don't have to share your truth with other people if it's not a 5-star review. But if it isn't and it's not, then what are we talking about again?
Yeah, we're going to get into the movie that we watched this week that we're going to review, guys.
And when you say review, positively over there, negatively over here.
Good critic, bad critic, some might say.
It's in the name.
It's in the name. Stay for our review of all of the awards we're going to give out and our true opinions.
True thoughts come and go. What was this week's movie?
I'll tell you right now, Andrew.
Please, thank you. This episode's, I should say.
Moonlight, 2016.
Never heard of it.
Directed by Barry Jenkins.
Barry Jenkins. Written, too, I believe.
Yeah, he did write it as well.
Did you write this part that you're about to read?
No, IMDb wrote this.
Perfect.
I can't take credit for this one.
Excellent.
A young African-American man grapples with his identity and sexuality while experiencing everyday struggles of childhood, adolescence, and adulthood. Couldn't have said it better if I tried.
Yeah, I suppose not.
All right, I'll just get straight into it.
Yeah, please review the film positively.
I'll positively review this positively. All right, Andrew.
This is a podcast.
You're one to talk. All right, okay. Enough chatter.
I'm ready to listen.
The first aspect that I have to praise about this film is the cinematography. Each scene is stunning. Absolutely stunning. The plot of this movie, simple yet effective. We follow Chiron throughout 3 points of his life. So, as a child, little, adolescence, Chiron, and as a man, called Black. So, we're just following him as he struggles with his identity, his sexuality, and his trauma. Each of these characters that are presented in this film are done beautifully. We see their flaws, we're empathetic with them, and the actors and actresses portraying them are giving flawless performances. Sorry, I lost my spot.
No, it's fine.
The storytelling feels real and is heartbreaking, and this movie will have a lasting effect on everyone. Loved it. Loved it.
Terrible review. And let me tell you why. All right, we're going to start off simply here. You mentioned the main character, Little, Chiron, Black, to name a few. Too many names, all right, first and foremost. Second of all, throughout this entire film, the main character does some insane things. Let me start. How do you put your shirt on?
Okay,
Walk me through it.
All right, I'll put my head through, one arm, other arm.
Wrong. See, that's how Chiron does it. Full head, arm, arm. No, you go arm, arm, head, and then it consumes your body. So that's number one. Then, this is a grown man, maybe 29.
I would say he's younger.
He holds his fork like this, and he eats, and he scoops. It's a fork, not a spoon. It's not even about what the utensil is. That's how he holds it. Okay?
You're grasping at straws.
No, I'm not. Let me finish. That's just insanity. All right. Let me say, if that's not enough, let's ask. What are some of your favorite emotions to feel?
Happiness.
Happiness. Mm-hmm.
Joy.
Joy. Yeah, it's pretty similar to happiness, but I understand the difference.
Accomplishment.
Yeah.
Is that a feeling?
Course. Yeah, totally. You feel accomplished, 100%. Notice how you didn't say sadness, emptiness, loneliness. That's what this entire film is predicated on. And it's an abomination. Who wants to feel that? The movie...
But you do feel it.
Yeah, the movie is about isolation and struggle of a young gay black man growing up in an environment who clearly doesn't want to accept who he is. Okay? Except for one man, who even he loses. Who wants to watch anyone go through that, let alone a child? A child. My closing... I'm sorry, this was the most difficult thing I've ever had to do. This is one of my favorite movies. All right, in America, we want action. We don't want slow burns. We want explosions, fast burns. And let me tell you, this has nothing of that. We want freedom. And this little boy, teen, and man, he gets none of that.
Wow.
Don't watch this movie.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Closing arguments. You had to be on trial for that.
Pretty much. I don't know how you could possibly not like this, but I didn't.
All right, guys. Yeah, he hated this movie.
Okay, let's get into the awards.
Let's get into it. Let's go best and worst performance.
Yeah, please.
This is tough. Like I said earlier, each of these actors and actresses are doing great. I had to give it to Mahershala Ali just because his character Juan, he's a flawed man. Like, he's a drug dealer. He's giving Chiron's mom her drugs, which causes a lot of pain in Chiron's life. But he also gives him, like, that father figure he's missing. He cares about this boy. And he's just, like, a morally gray character, but you know he's bad. But he's so charismatic. You care for him. You can see his emotions. You care. You're empathetic for him. And he's not in this movie the whole movie like all the other characters. You get him for one act, and he's giving it his all. And it was amazing.
Truly. Some might say, not me.
You wouldn't say that.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Give us the worst performance.
Worst performance for me, this was... I'm going to have to give it to teenage Kevin, a love interest of Chiron's. He's played by Jarrell Jerome. It's not necessarily a bad performance, but he is... And I understand that it's an act that the character is also portraying, but he is so over the top and annoying.
That's fair.
About most of this. It was a tough one.
Yeah.
You know?
Obviously, there's a purpose to it, but I get what you're saying. Yeah.
He got annoying.
That's fair.
He got annoying, and he got annoying fast.
Wow. All right, Andrew, let's get into the quotes.
Yeah, please.
The best quote. Sorry for saying this, everyone. It's a quote from the movie. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying it.
He's quoting someone.
So, basically, Chiron, as little, is trying to figure out what he's all about. Like I said, his identity, his sexuality. He thinks he's gay, right? And so...
Can I
please? Go ahead.
I need to ask this. How does everyone around him know he's gay?
I don't know.
I
don't know.
I don't
As a
understand
kid that little, yeah.
Exactly.
That's fair. That's fair. So he's asking Juan, like, hey, what does this word mean? How do you know? Basically, Juan tells him, you're not a faggot. You can be gay, but you don't have to let anyone call you a faggot. And I thought this was a really good point where he's saying, you can be yourself. You don't have to be ashamed about who you are. Like, this word is used to hurt you, and you don't have to let it hurt you. And stand up for yourself. If that's who you are, that's who you are. And it just hits you. I'm going
to break character really quick. That scene at the table.
I cried.
The first time I cried, and it's probably the hardest I cried in this.
I've cried twice.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm saying this was the first time, for sure.
And so... best quote has to go to that because it's just so real. Like, this little kid is looking for, like, guidance, and he just...
This is probably the first time he's ever gotten it.
And he gives it to him, and it's just heartbreaking, sad.
Absolutely.
You gotta love it, honestly.
All right, character back on.
Yep. All right, bad critic time.
Oh, yeah, worst quote easily goes to teenage Kevin as well.
Oh, wow, you're hating on Kevin.
So they're on the beach, right?
Yeah.
They're on the beach. Don't know what's gonna happen. Don't know what's going on. But Kevin walks up on Chiron. He sits down. He has a blunt. He says, "You like the water, huh? Well, I'm about to introduce you to some fire." Stupid. I get it. Like I said, it's an act. But shut up, man.
Brother, come on. You smoke za?
Yeah.
All right, Andrew. bad critic mode, you know. I'm the good. Best act, worst act, or scene. You could go scene. Mm-hmm. It's perfect because this movie's broken up into 3 acts, so I had to choose an act. And it's tough because I think there's a clear low point act of adolescence, in my opinion. I don't like it as much. And it's tough between Act 1 and Act 3, which is better to me. But ultimately, I went Act 3 just because this is Chiron as a grown man. He's still trying to figure himself out, but he's way more developed. You see, like, the influences from his childhood and adolescence into the man that he is in the 3rd act. So you see how he's living. He still cares about his mom, even though she was terrible to him. Like, he makes time to go see her, and he's trying to forgive her. And you get that second scene where I cried, where he's talking to his mom. She's, like, apologizing, like, I know you don't have to, like, forgive me or love me, but I love you. I want you to know. And he lets that single tear.
One tear.
I'm right there with him. This is also when he reunites with Kevin in the diner as a grown man. And just seeing them interact, they still care about each other. There's still that chemistry. And honestly, it's the best. They kind of let the story, like, slowly, like, fade out. And it just works so well. I loved it.
Sure you did.
I loved it.
Sure you did. All right, I went with the scene here. For me, the worst scene is Act 1, Little. He walks into the bathroom. All the boys are there comparing dicks.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, they're like, who let this guy in? You guys just left the door open first.
Yeah.
And second of all, why are you guys comparing dicks when you're just dogging on this little guy for being potentially gay? I don't understand the hypocrisy. Why? You know, you're just confusing him even more.
And he takes a peek at.
Yeah, he sure does.
He takes an extended peek.
I don't know. I understand the point of the scene, but also I did think it was like, okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Best and worst costume. I did have best costume going to Black, the character, because you see him as a grown man. He's kind of copying what Juan does. He is copying what Juan does.
That's straight up Star Wars ripping off Dune.
So we have him. He's got the gold fronts, the tank top,
big ass chain, earrings, right?
With the
Sleeves
car
with the do rag on.
I'm telling you, it's just like him playing like this masculine man.
Yeah.
And, like, it's his costume. Like, the character is wearing a costume. Literally. And it's just great, honestly. Because you can tell, like, he is still, like, that soft kid.
Yeah.
He's just portraying himself as this tough guy. And Kevin calls him out. He's like, what is all this?
What is that? That ain't you, Chiron.
I know. He's like, you don't know me.
All right, worst costume. I had to give it to one of the 2 outfits Chiron wears in high school. It's the main one that he wears 2 days in a row. I understand the situation. I'm not dogging him, but it's just a white tee with a short sleeve button up that's green and blue. That's what white kids wear, like rich white kids. It's not the look for him. With the no, they're not even that tight.
Skinnier
jeans,
blue
jeans. It's just not his. It's not his look.
Hey.
I don't know what he's doing. Great cut. Everything else is not working for him. Yeah.
All right. The best location. So this is filmed in Miami. You don't really get a lot of city. It's just more like you're in the house, you're at the diner. But the one that stands out to me, best location, is at the beach. When there's 2 beach scenes, but it's the beach scene with Juan teaching him how to swim as a child. Little. You're in the water. The perspective of the camera, you're in the water. Just at the level where the water, you can see on top of the water and right below. And you're kind of watching these characters. You're bobbing up and down with them. And you just see Juan teaching them how to swim. And actually, fun fact about this movie.
You've been there.
Marshall Ali is actually teaching this young actor how to swim. He didn't know how to swim. So it works so well. Yeah. And he's just basically like being that dad figure for him. Beautiful shot, beautiful beach. And the colors, it's like purple and beautiful, like the sky. Loved it.
Understood.
Loved it.
Great shot. Probably the only good shot of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
For me, I had the worst location was The subway / train station. It's way too clean. It would not be that clean. That's all I got.
Okay.
That's all I got.
All right. Best song. I'm going to give it to Classic Man. I loved it, actually. Just because, like, you're with Black. He's driving, going to meet up with Kevin. And it's just, like, I can feel that song in that car. It just works perfectly. It worked perfectly for me.
I'm with you. For me, the worst
and
song...
it got stuck in my head. I'm not going to lie.
The worst song goes to... So Black is driving back home. And there's a scene. It works really well. It's a beautiful song, but I don't understand the words, so I'm going with it because I gotta pick something, you know? It's called Curricucu Palome by Castano Veloso.
Okay.
Yeah. Beautiful song. Great use of it, honestly. Just didn't understand the words, so...
All right, guys.
This was not easy. Okay? Let's get into our honest thoughts so I can tell you why it was not easy.
I'm going to tell you, I've said it before. This is probably my favorite movie ever.
It's top 3.
It's like one of them for sure. It has to be.
It's the highest score I've ever given a movie. Well, I'll start there.
Yeah.
9.7 out of 10.
Okay, I went a little lower.
Almost perfect.
I went 9.5.
Yeah, it's so good. Because this is it's like so simple, but like but perfect
it's so effective
portrayal of like life. Like, obviously, we all haven't been a gay black man, but we've all been isolated or not understood what we're feeling or what we're going through or what we should be doing. And it nails everything perfectly. Every second of it is just so beautiful too.
Exactly.
Even the shitty parts, you're just like, you can kind of see some beauty in an essence of it. It's unbelievable.
The way the story is told too, you care so much about Chiron. Like, you're like dropped into this world and you're just going. And they do it so well. Like, it doesn't matter. You care for each of the characters. Like, the mom is shitty. She's doing drugs, but she's trying. And then she realizes she's doing bad, like, growing up. And she tries to apologize. I'm like, that's shitty. Juan is her drug dealer. And I'm like, this sucks. And they're both trying to care for this kid. And it's just tough.
Yeah, it makes you feel something and think about the movie for so long afterwards.
And it's stunningly beautiful.
It really is so good. Like, I'm so glad it won Best Picture because it deserved every accolade. And
the colors.
Yeah, everything about it.
It's so rich, vibrant.
It's told seamlessly. All the performances are honestly either great or spectacular. There's no, like, anything below that. Nothing stands out where you're like, that shouldn't be there. Or at least for me. I was just like, everything just fits perfectly together. It's like a Rubik's Cube. One piece left, just gotta turn it.
And that's like the thing. I've watched this movie a few times, and I cry every single time.
Every single time.
It gets you no matter what.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
Yep. If you haven't, it is a tough watch, but it's worth every second of it.
You would say it's tough, like, just as emotionally.
An emotionally tough one. It's not a tough watch like as a film. It's a tough everything else about it. Like you said,
it's sad.
Emotionally,
Yeah, it's sad.
It really is. It's one of the sadder movies. Not the saddest. One of the sadder.
Yeah.
There's one I can't wait for us to do because it's the saddest thing I've ever watched.
Okay.
But we'll get to that.
Guys, if you stayed this long, thank you.
Definitely drop a review then because it sounds like you liked what you heard. And if you stayed this long, we'll reward you. We'll tell you next episode.
I don't even know it.
I haven't even told Kyle.
So we're all learning together, guys.
Yeah. Paul Thomas Anderson's There Will Be Blood.
Oh.
Yeah, watch with us on, I believe it's on Paramount. It's on one of the
It's on something.
Peacock, Prime, or Paramount. But it's on there. Watch
it with us. You got 2 weeks.
Leave us a review.
And thanks for tuning in.
Other people to listen if you want.
Do it. Don't it.
Don't it.
We'll see you.
Yeah, bye.